Hello and welcome to Wires from the Deep, a Silo series podcast. Today is Saturday, May 13, 2023, and you are listening to episode 5, The Probability of Catastrophe. I am your host, Crystal, here with my co-host, Kelly.
Hey, everyone.
Okay, so this is our discussion about episode 3, Machines of Silo. So I wanted to start off by asking, Kelly, are you okay?
No, I am not okay. I am not okay. Why is it I always find like a favorite character that I'm like, yay, and then oh no, okay. It's just I wasn't 100% surprised because I followed Geraldine James on Instagram and she had posted something that was like, so happy to have a small part in this wonderful show. And I was like, small part? Like, you're like the mayor. Like, what are you talking about? Like this whole episode, she's like in the whole episode. I'm like, this is like a huge part. And I thought she was just being like self-deprecating, but obviously not. So
Well, was there a point in the episode where you're like, "Oh, this doesn't bode well"?
I mean, okay, so when they showed her like signing the paper, it was like, I don't know, it seemed weird the way they showed it. For me, it just made it seem like it meant something. Like, obviously now she's like signed to this, but she just dropped dead. So is it official? Is it not official? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Because I was looking at all the discussion online, and some people were, I guess, clued in as soon as her and Martin's kissed in the dark. they're like
oh,
they're like, oh, they're supposed to be happy, so of course they're gonna die.
oh no, I didn't get that vibe at all. I, however, did not see the whole kissing thing coming. I didn't think they had like romantic chemistry, to be
Uh,
perfectly honest. But maybe I just wasn't paying attention because it was Geraldine James and I was so excited.
I'm gonna start us off on the start of the episode because it takes us right back to where episode 2 left off, and Juliet was hanging in the off the rope over the water, and that's just where it starts back up again, and it just she pulls herself out and she can't go look for the door, and
Look,
I mean,
there is no way she had the upper body strength to get back up that rope, right? Like, that is crazy. After hanging there for God knows how long, like thinking.
I know, but and also I was thinking, well, like if she had succeeded, like where was she gonna go?
You know, right? Go get the flashlight. I don't. Yeah, I
Because
was.
she can't swim,
I.
so I don't know.
We're assuming that, right? That she can't swim.
Yeah,
That she
I
would
think
even know
so.
how to. Like, do they have a pool?
I mean, I just assumed that everybody in the silo doesn't know how to swim,
That's what I
so
assume too.
yeah.
Hmm.
Because I think Mayor Johns mentions that she's never been submerged in water either, or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that. Yeah, I forget which episode it was. She said something like that.
May she rest in peace.
Well, I mean, she's not dead yet, so
Oh
she could
well.
still be
That was like Joffrey on the floor, right? She was like
alive.
spewing blood. It was. I don't know. She looked. I hope she makes it. I guess.
Okay, so Juliet shows up late. She punches her shadow, which I thought was ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess that was just to establish,
I don't know. I kind of like that about her. She's very like. uh,
yeah, she's got a lot of spunk, right?
she does have a lot of spunk. I like her a lot.
Yeah, because I mean, they kind of go out of their way to show that Juliet can be a real bitch, right?
Yeah.
But since people like me and people like you, there's a bitch in all of us, so just kind of identify
Yeah,
with that, right?
I definitely identify with that. So after the mayor and the other guy, whose name I can never remember, left, and her like, what the fuck, was just so. It was really, I enjoyed her a lot. I didn't think she was gonna take it, but then I was like, where's the show gonna go if she doesn't? So
Yeah, so in case people didn't pick up on that, because I found that I'll go back and I'll watch it a second time and be like, oh, I didn't even realize that that's what they were going for. But she does take the job because that's the clue. Like Holston had told her to wait, and he'll send her a message, and that was his message, right? So
yeah, I'm glad she interpreted it as like take the job. I don't know if I necessarily would have.
yeah, although I do wonder, I mean, it wasn't much of a message, right?
Yeah,
like
I would have. Yeah, how much time did he have to put that out there? Anything
yeah.
else would do.
Okay, so that goes back to the opening of the first episode with the flowers, the double the flowers in front of the mirror, and
What the
like
hell
he
did that mean?
yeah,
What was
okay,
that
so
all
I
about?
I I like thought about it a lot over the past week, and I was looking at things, and I was like, okay, this must actually be a clue for Juliet, because why would he just and then like with this week, it's like all he gives her is the badge with no note or anything, you know?
Maybe there's something that you can see somewhere where when you put a mirror up, I don't know, that you can see that there's
Yeah. No, but he's like tightening the screws on that grate in his apartment.
yeah.
And so like people are speculating that he put the hard drive in there because he told her he was going to destroy it, right? So, and
Yeah, I
obviously
think that's where it must be.
obviously if he says he's going to destroy it, he probably didn't destroy it.
Of
So
course.
but yeah. So
I have a
okay, so
question.
oh yeah.
Um, at some point they were explaining where the steam is coming from, and they're just like, steam comes from down deep and nobody knows where. Is that a normal thing that happens in nature? Like, what is
I
the
don't know, but
steam?
I mean, I think a lot of people were interpreting it like as a specifically like people were talking about like geothermal energy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're talking about, but which is funny because I live in a state with active volcanoes.
Mhm, yeah, yeah, like, I've been to Yellowstone, but it didn't seem like it was that sort of setup, so I was
But I mean, I had thought that it was like a reference to the cavern that Jules had just like failed to like go explore because it's got that giant
yeah,
pond of water. So I thought,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
they don't know where the steam comes from, but maybe it's just pumping the water out from there and heating it somewhere, and that's where the steam comes from. So I don't know. I thought that's what they're referring to. I don't know if I'm right. So
I'm very curious if the silo is above ground or underground. I mean, I know the simulation is above ground.
uh
If it's a simulation, I don't know if it's a simulation. Um, but the whole thing to me, I guess, because it's so dark, it just seems underground, like in a cave
yeah,
or something.
because I mean, there was a similar thing. Did you see or read the books Maze Runner?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so that one was like a thing where these people were trapped in like some area, and it turned out they were in a building. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I can
Oh,
see that being a thing. So,
well, can't read
but
it now.
but sorry,
It's okay.
but like the digger, I think tells you that they're underground, especially since there's all that water at the
Right,
bottom.
right,
So
right, right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so the mayor and Marnes start their trip down, and they visit Bernard, and that's actually where I got the episode title. He's talking about the probability of catastrophe that it the probability goes up by something like 1 point every hour that they don't
Mhm.
have a sheriff. And I thought that was interesting because they have so many different power players at work in the silo. They have judicial, they have IT, they have the mayor, they have the sheriff's office, they have the enforcers of judicial, and it's like there's all these
Yeah.
different.
What does the sheriff actually do?
I don't
Just,
even
like,
know.
walks around being the sheriff? I mean, it seems
Because
like you would need more law enforcement than they actually have in such a place, like
yeah, because they have stations, like Marnes and Johns were at a station,
mhm.
and they were radioing other stations. So there's stations throughout the silo. But then who are the like? I think when the episode opens, there's these two like gloomy looking people looking at Johns, and I guess I just assumed they were from Judicial.
Were they in all black?
I don't know. Or are they like the sheriff is like the state police and the judicial people are like the feds? Is that what it is? I don't
Maybe.
know. I mean, I guess that could be. So I
Hmm.
liked oh so what I was trying to say was like it's interesting to me that one position is so important and such a big factor
Right,
in like the silo degenerating to chaos, because I mean even if they don't have a sheriff they still have all those deputies, right? So and
right.
they seem to have a lot of them, so I'm curious why that is. I guess maybe the fragile mental state of the society of the silo in general is just yeah, it's just very tenuous maybe. I don't know. So they
Yeah, I
continue their
don't
walk, and then they get did they get to the park first, or did she go see the babies? I
I
don't
think it
remember that
was
order.
maybe the babies first? Maybe
Yeah.
the
So did you recognize Julia's dad?
um, yes, I did. I did recognize him.
Yeah, he was Sir Jorah in Game of Thrones. It was so weird seeing him talk in American accent.
I was
Um,
Was he the same doctor that removed the birth control from?
No, he was a different
Okay,
doctor.
okay,
So
good.
I
Because
think
this guy seemed like way less creepy, and I couldn't remember.
yeah, I think he's more like a pediatrician kind of like.
I couldn't tell if I like recognized him so strongly because I did watch Game of Thrones, but not even to the end, like through 5 or 4
Mm.
seasons or something. I couldn't remember if I recognized him because I had seen him before or
No, yeah, this was his first episode, so.
right.
But so they had a really interesting conversation, and I had a kind of a like I can't remember from the book what exactly happened, but like they had talked about what happened to Juliet's something happened in Juliet's past, and it's tied to suicide. And then
Mhm.
I think they mentioned her mother and brother, and he looked really embarrassed or ashamed when they were talking about it, and he didn't want to say what it was, right? So
Did he specifically mention her mother? I round it twice, and I didn't quite catch what
I
he
think it
said.
was it was in a previous episode when I think it was either at the end of one or at the start of two or
Mhm.
something. It was when Holston and Marnes and Hank were talking, I think, or maybe when they first talked to Juliet. Like they said something about your mother and brother, and she said, "Oh yeah, of
Hmm.
course you read my file,"
Oh
and
yeah,
so
I remember that.
and
I
he
remember that.
said we. That maybe she's more inclined to think it's not suicide because of what
Ah,
happened.
yes, yes, yes.
So it must be her mother, right? Who
Ouch.
who who did something. So, and if something happened to her brother too, I'm wondering like how old was her brother?
Oh,
And
jeez.
then for her to leave when she's 13, something really traumatic had to have happened, right? So,
Yeah.
and then I started wondering, is this tied to her fear of water? Like, did her mother do something to her brother? You know, because I mean, I don't think living in a silo means that like stuff like postpartum goes away or anything like that. So
Oh, this is getting really dark really
I
fast.
know,
I see where
sorry.
you're going with this. Man, okay. Right. That could have happened. Um,
Yeah. So I'm sure they're gonna go into it more, but yeah. But did you notice how many babies are in that one nursery?
okay, that's what I was wondering. Is there like a baby floor and just all the babies are there? Or are those just like one floor of babies? Like,
I mean, I guess it's just like a hospital, right? So like he must just be in
well,
charge
it's,
of
but like,
the
when
maternity
when
ward.
she got to that level, she was like,
I've got to go see the babies.
right. It made it sound like that was the baby place,
Yeah.
where they keep them all.
Okay, so I think okay, so in I think episode 2 she said that she used to be able to make 25 blankets a year, one for every 10th kid. So
Holy shit.
I took that to mean that the silo has about 250 babies a year, but that still seemed like a lot of babies. I don't maybe some of them were just empty, but
I guess that they're just trying to like replace their population. I don't know.
yeah. And then when she had looked in her logbook, me and a bunch of other people had like read like all the little scribbled text in that ledger she was reading, the mayor's ledger, and there
Mhm.
were a lot of stillbirths listed.
Oh, interesting.
Like I think in a 1 week span there was like 5, and I was like, wow,
That's a lot.
that's a lot, especially for such a small population. So, but it's from the past, so I don't know if it like happened during like I don't know some kind of pandemic or something. Or
Hmm.
anyway, so then they keep going and they go to that park, and I don't remember a park from the book, so I really like this because it was really pretty. It was
Really pretty, and that park would have been way more crowded in real life.
like,
Like, if you lived in that silo, you would be there every day.
yeah. Okay, so the strawberry tart. I was thinking, I'm not gonna be eating any strawberry tarts anytime soon. That thing is it looked dangerous. But then
It did.
he ate a strawberry after, so I don't know.
The poison
But
was in the icing.
I'm curious about this Judge Meadows. I picked up on because I watched the episode twice, and so I picked up that Judge Meadows is actually a woman. I had thought it was a man, so
Oh, okay,
be
okay.
interesting to see who like if they're gonna meet her or they're gonna show her soon. But she seems to be kind of a domineering presence. So, I mean, it just makes me question again because like Holston seemed to have a lot of power and like as
Yeah, it's
mayor,
very Department of Mysteries. I don't really know what's going on.
yeah, like John's like could just schedule a power outage like without consulting it because like
Yeah, that's a lot of power. That's a lot of
yeah,
power, yeah.
because I mean. usually in stuff like this, you would think that they would have like a council or something. You know what I mean? Where they
A
have a bunch of,
board.
yeah, like a bunch of department heads
There would
who.
be so many of those. You know there would. There'd be like HOA, PT, I mean, all that stuff. People love that.
But then again, maybe that ties into like the transportation and the silo. They're just like, it's too big a pain in the ass
Well,
to have meetings.
also like her ability to just appoint some complete random from mechanical to be the sheriff is so weird to me. Like I you'd think there would be, but then I think of like obviously these things just happen. Like
Yeah.
there are no
I I I
qualifications that make sense.
I think she said it was tradition that he names his successor, and I guess she just has to
But wasn't she
approve.
like implying also that like the sheriff usually is the person who becomes mayor like later? I don't know.
I got the impression that she was just talking about she hoped that he would eventually run for mayor,
I see.
because they were talking about like all those people
Oh, I see. Okay.
were telling her they're going to vote for her in the next election. So she's an
Hmm.
elected official. So,
I see. I see.
but that guy Sims, he was like part of like he like appeared briefly in a previous episode, and he was like with like those two goons behind him. They're all dressed in black. Okay, so they go downstairs, and then I liked Johns' meeting with Jules and the way that she just kind of like, she just speaks her mind. She's like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I think that's why I've always identified with Juliet, is she's just like kind of blunt and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
want to know what that old lady said to her when she asked her, "Tell me about Juliet. Like, what kind of person is she really, or whatever."
yeah.
I want to know what she
I
said.
I was interested to see that they knew each other, because it kind of seemed like,
I thought
you
that was
know,
really cute.
yeah, they were friends before, right?
Yeah, and it made the end of this episode even worse because like that was her buddy from Down
Yeah.
Deep. Now,
And then she hadn't left her apartment in like 20 years,
yeah, because like
so
her
yeah.
wife, they like split up and was sad.
Yeah. But then like, yeah, you're right. She like tells her something off camera, and then she comes back
Yeah,
and she's
it
like,
cuts away, and then she just
yeah,
like walks into the room to
she's
meet
like,
her.
"Hey, you got the job."
I know. That's really. I hope we get to see that. I'm very curious. Well, I guess after that, she says she has to fix the generator. Yeah.
Yeah, so then she accepts the job, and then
Mm.
she agrees to the power outage. And then oh, and then like then the big thing happened. The green flash on the screen in the cafeteria. Did you see that?
Wait, did I see what?
Okay, so when the power first like turned off, they had
Oh,
people.
the screen, and then yeah, it did flicker.
Yeah, it flickered, and like it showed like the green grass and the blue sky for like half a second, and then it showed.
Oh, I missed it. I'll have to go back and
Yeah,
watch.
it's funny because my husband missed it too. We were watching, and then it flashed, and I went, "Did you see that?" And he's like, "What?"
Oh, see, now I'm gonna have to watch it again because I feel like I missed a lot of things this
Yeah,
episode.
so it happened really fast. It flashed to like the green outdoors with the blue
What the
sky.
hell?
Yeah, and so yeah, people were just going crazy talking about that,
And
because
nobody in
like,
the room noticed?
why? I mean, I think they made it seem like people did, but they were just like super confused, you know.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, to us, we've seen it like a few times already, right? The Allison's video, and like
Hmm.
Holston goes outside and we see his view and stuff like that. But like all those people, like that probably, I don't know if they've even ever seen colors that bright, right? So maybe they just were
Sure.
like not even sure what that was. But I'm curious whether, because obviously it's a glitch, so I'm curious whether IT is even aware that it happened, because like I said, it was so fast. I mean, you didn't even see it while you were watching the show, so
Yeah,
I
no, I
mean,
didn't. It was I remember seeing like blue though, so yeah, I must have just completely missed what it was.
yeah. So, but I feel like that's going to be like a big thing going forward, because then a lot of people are going to start asking questions, because I mean, I don't think it happened on only one screen. It must have happened on all the
Well,
screens,
all the
right? So,
screens show the same thing, right?
yeah, yeah.
Also, I thought all of these people were very weird about the dark. Like, do they not have their children sleep in the dark? Why are the lights always on everywhere? Like, why didn't
Yeah.
they just go to sleep for 8 hours like a normal person? Like, go
Yeah.
to bed, right?
That's
They all sat up in the dark and were scared instead of going to bed at 10 p.m. like normal.
yeah,
Like, what? I
it's
don't.
That was actually a funny line that I caught the second time I watched. When like the mayor and him were going back up, and Bernard comes out, he said, "Why were the lights off for 8 hours last night?" And Barnes tells him, "Well, it was nighttime."
Right? It was very odd. I guess when you live in such a dark place, you just
I think it
use
was.
more small lights.
I'm guessing it was more that like maybe they
It's like
always
the
have
metaphorical
some,
darkness.
or it's just they probably always have light sources on. At some point, like how you look outside your house and like street lights are on and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like there's like light that you don't even pay attention to, I think, but once it's gone, you're like, it's really freaking dark. Oh my god.
yeah.
you know. But then I don't know, you would think that they would have lanterns. I mean, Juliet had a flashlight, so
They had like those little lanterns when they were all sleeping in that communal area for some reason. I don't know why
yeah.
they all weren't at home in their beds, but okay.
I think it's probably just they knew why the power was. No, did they know why the power was going off? What did she say?
She says,
What?
"Do hmm." I think she says that like due to a need to repair the generator.
Oh, yeah. So I think that probably just scared everybody, right? Because like the idea that your main power source is gonna get shut off,
Yeah,
it's
I
probably
guess.
like world bending. So the generator stuff. Um,
Hmm.
I was reading a lot of discussion on Reddit and things like that. I mean, overall, I thought it was like a really exciting sequence, and it was really expanded from the book. But it was like I liked the scale of the generator and like how it looked, and like like the whole plan that they had set in motion and things like that. There were some complaints about like how steam turbines work and stuff, but I don't know, that kind of stuff
I
goes
don't
right
know
over my
anything
head.
about that.
I don't,
Sorry.
yeah, so like I don't know
I'm like, the steam come from the ground.
but yeah, I mean I liked it, like how like they open it and like
Yeah,
they have like and it's funny because it's like there were like really predictable beats, and yet it was still fun to watch because it's like they say, okay, we're gonna have half an hour, and it's like that they're not gonna have half an
yeah.
hour.
I liked how they were like, that thing weighs 1 point whatever tons. And then they were like, burnt with like a little like thing. It took like 5 seconds. I don't know.
But yeah, so I enjoyed it, but I did like I don't I can overlook like all the like sciencey stuff, and like I had thought, oh, how can Jules be down there and not be cooking?
In the water, that's what
Yeah.
I thought was happening to her. I thought the water was just getting hotter and hotter and
Oh,
hotter. And
because
I was afraid she was going to come out of there like half cooked or something. And
yeah, yeah. But I
it's
guess
like,
it's like part of the anticipation, right? Like, is she fine?
I
because
don't know. I don't really like
um
scenes like that, to be honest. I get really tense. I had to turn down the volume.
yeah. Plus, she's like terrified of water, right?
I know,
So
I know. Maybe I'm
okay.
terrified of water.
So my big complaint though is Knox. Like, why is he so useless?
Is that Cooper?
No, Knox is like the head, the guy with the
He
big
just stands
arms,
in the window with his arms like, out
like
to the
flexing.
side, like a
Like he like squeezes the
overseer.
bar, and he's like, "Yeah, come on, go faster." It's like, dude, you could help.
Yeah. He looked very strong.
Yes, he did, but he had to stay behind and look at the meter.
God.
So I was so let down by him because he's the lead of mechanical. He's Jules's mentor. He's the guy who stood on the table in the cafeteria and said, "We get shit done."
I will say that I liked where he was sitting there and just listening to the problem. And then suddenly he was like, this is what we're going to do. I mean, I liked that. I felt like
Yeah,
he
no, I mean they
had a
were setting
plan.
him up to be like a man of like action, you
No, he's a
know.
man of a plan. He's a man with a plan. That's it. That's all he's got. Like, he can't help execute this plan.
'Cause, like, I don't know, I was just so let down like that they didn't have him
No.
be way more proactive just
See, that's
because.
why you shouldn't read the book. You just have
No,
like
no, 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 it
expectations.
doesn't have anything to do with the book. I don't even actually remember like a lot about Knox other than like his name and like being like a person that Jules
Yeah,
looks up
yeah.
to, but just how they had set him up in the show, and then to just have him just be like the meter reader. It's like,
Sorry, I
ah,
don't know, like, if he has, like, a part later on or something, so
I
I
hope
just
he
I just
does.
assume in the book it's, always something different, so
I need some redemption for him because right now he's like way on my shit list.
well, I feel like we basically just left mechanical, like, see you later, I don't know. I
Yeah,
will
we'll
there be a
see.
reason to go back?
I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming so because they're, yeah, I don't know, but we'll see.
Okay. I was afraid it was gonna take that thing 30 minutes to, like, come to a complete stop, to be honest. I was, like, waiting and waiting.
Yeah, I think I saw people commenting about that too, but it's just like, it's a TV show. They have to like compact things, so they can't
Yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah.
they can't actually have them waiting half an hour for it to that would be pretty boring. So,
And time's up. So,
yeah. Ah, but yeah, so when they brought that rotor down, I was like, wow, I don't see how they can straighten that thing out.
yeah, it was, you just kind of have to use your imagination a little bit,
No, no,
Crystal.
yeah, I'm fine with it. I just thought
Yeah, no,
maybe
I
they
too. I was like, "There's no way that you can actually make this, like, better in
yeah, movie
15
dust or
minutes."
TV dust, Hollywood dust, you gotta
Little
sprinkle a lot on.
sprinkle.
But yeah, it was exciting and I like that. But
Yeah.
Knox gotta pick up the pace, man. Got a
I
lot
knew
to make up
Cooper was
for.
gonna, like I thought he was either gonna die or, like, just screw something up, and
I thought he was gonna do it and then die.
oh, wow, okay. I thought
Well,
it would be
because
one
they
or the
were they were
other.
I thought, okay, like she's leaving him up there.
Yeah,
This
like,
is like
she'll, like, push him off, and then she's fired.
see, that's another thing. Like with Knox, I was like, he's like yelling, "Get him down now!" And it's like really imperative that they get Cooper down so that they can shut the thing and turn it back on.
Mhm.
And I was just like, dude, you're just gonna stand there. Why don't you go help them get him down?
He only has a plan, Crystal.
He should be fired. Anyway, but yeah, so I could tell like that's why they had Jules leave, because on the one hand it was like, why would they have like she's like so attached to the generator, you know, and she like leaves her apprentice there who looks like a
Very
kid.
she
Who
right?
looks
Why did she pick, like, the boy to go out? But he seems really,
yeah,
really young. I
yeah,
liked the girl that she
yeah,
had really
Shirley,
quiet, and she looks like
yeah,
she was very strong. I would have
yeah, I
picked her.
really liked her too.
Julie?
I think her name is Shirley.
Oh, Shirley.
I'm not positive. There's a Shirley in the book, and I think I heard them calling her that before. Not sure. I have to go check.
My next note is that I would really like to own that drawing that he did of
Oh
John.
yeah,
So, obviously, this is just me, like, crushing on Geraldine James again
it
throughout all
was
my
really
notes.
pretty.
It was really
Yeah,
pretty.
it was. I thought like I know you said you didn't like pick up the chemistry between them, and I think
Well, yeah, when I saw that, I was like, "Whoa." Like, but I don't remember having picked up on it before.
no, I think it was intentional. Just
Yeah.
I think they're
I
just trying
didn't
to say,
dislike it, I just
no, I
didn't
think
notice.
you're not meant to until this episode because
You're being very
he's
professional.
just the kind of person, yeah, he's professional. He's kept it hidden until like she said something, and it's like when she said, like maybe she can open up a stall next to some
Oh, that
old
was
guy
so
with drawings.
romantic.
I know. It's like he was like shaking. He was like so overcome that like you could see him like
Yeah,
visibly shaking. So it's like I
yeah,
guess he had been just holding it in for so long that
yeah. I liked that scene, it was sweet.
yeah. But then the knife gets jabbed in.
It's really bad. Like, the poor man thinks he's about to get lucky. He's, like, picking out the
Yeah.
line, and, like, 30 seconds later, she's hemorrhaging. Not hemorrhaging. What do you call it when you bleed out
I
the
I
mouth? I
don't
don't
I
know what
don't
was
know. Is
happening.
there a word
Was
for
it
it?
poisoned? It kind of looked like a poisonous
I feel like if you're
death.
spitting out blood, you've been poisoned.
Yeah. In TV at least, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's what happens.
Because I think if you have tuberculosis, it's like more coughing, but she wasn't coughing. So
What did she eat? Did she eat anything? Like,
okay, so people were going through like what she consumed. She didn't
mhm,
eat the tart. She
no?
did drink water from Martin's bottle. She drank tea with Martha, and she also drank water again, I think, outside of IT because they were drinking when Bernard approached them.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I think they like put all those things in so that people would like just have multiple
Yeah.
suspicious things. But
Well, I don't know what happened, but I'm sad about it.
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Julia's last conversation with Walker. Because she had like we said before, like they show like Julia being a real bitch to people. Like she said something really harsh to Martha, right? About her, like not why am I even
Leaving.
talking to you?
Yeah.
Like you haven't left here in so long. But
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting and telling that like when she was leaving, she didn't almost like didn't know how to hug her.
That was really I caught that too, and I didn't know if it was her or Martha, because then later she hugs that other girl quite fiercely.
Yeah. I don't
I
know,
think
maybe
but it did look like she was the one being so awkward about it, and that
it
Martha knew that she couldn't lean into it. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, cuz it's yeah, it just looked like all she knew how to do was just put her head on her, right? And try to
Yeah.
convey everything. Maybe it's because Martha's like a mother figure for her and she has like
Oh,
a
yeah,
complicated
that's
thing
yeah.
with her own mother. I don't know. But yeah, I really like that. That was a nice way to convey a lot of complications in a relationship and in a person without saying anything, right? So,
Yeah. I definitely need to watch this episode again.
yeah. But by the way, watching it twice, when I got to the end, like the second time, I was like, wow, that sucked all over again. It's just the ending is just it's harsh.
It's
Ugh.
really harsh.
Yeah. I mean, you go from like a nice like trip down the silo and then this
I
exciting like
know.
generator thing and then you think, "Oh, okay, so Julia's going to be sheriff. She signed the papers." And then it's like boom.
Yeah, I was really upset. I had just thought, wow, okay, this is her idea of, a small role, and now it's over. I guess.
Oh, so when Juliet says goodbye to her friend and she starts the trip up, they pan the camera up, and I'm pretty sure you can, because you know how we talked before about I was saying, oh, I wonder if there's like floors every now and then, but
Yeah, yeah.
it looked like you could see all the way to the top of the
That's
silo.
crazy.
I know it's scary. I would never go near the side of the the staircase.
Like you would have jumpers all the time. Like
You'd
you
think
would have
so,
to
right?
put like railing or something,
But
like
I
top to
mean,
bottom.
maybe that's why suicide is a crime against the silo. But then when they said that, I was like, well, if you actually succeed, then does it matter if it's a crime?
I think
I
that
don't know.
I mean suicide is a crime in like countries, right? I mean, and it's illegal um in many places. It doesn't make any sense, like if you survive, what are they going to punish you? You're already like sad.
Actually, yeah, I guess now that you say that, it makes sense because I guess that's so that they can maybe put you in a hospital and put you
But like
under.
I guess I don't really know what a crime against the silo means. Like why
I guess I just took it as life is precious, so suicide is a waste of
they
that.
have lots of babies coming. They are not having like a problem with population. But then like if every woman is implanted with birth control, then it's interesting that they obviously control how many women
Yeah.
can get pregnant. So they control the population in that way. But
Mhm.
what you were talking about so many stillbirths.
Yeah.
That seems like a weird thing to add if it doesn't mean anything.
You would think that they would make it easier to take out too, not something like
You have to like
deep
I
inside of
know.
you that requires surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Like an IUD or something.
Something simpler.
I guess they wanted to make sure that the person couldn't remove it themselves.
I guess, yeah.
Assholes.
I know. It's all about controlling women all the time.
Isn't it? Man did
Okay, so I had noted down some things that we had talked about that we were confused about
that.
in past episode discussions. So I know we had talked about you had written down deal, and then that turned out to be Jules made a deal with George. She was so scared of
Oh, right, right.
the
Yeah.
water pit that she said, if you're gonna go down there, I don't want to know till after. And she said deal, and he said deal. So that was the
Mhm.
deal.
Thank you.
Um,
Sometimes I write things down and
and
I have
then
no idea.
we had talked about cleaning as a punishment. So Gloria says that at the beginning of the first episode. When she first approaches Holston and
Mhm.
Allison, she says like she doesn't want to be tricked into saying something illegal because she has no desire to be sent out.
Right.
Yeah, so
Well,
I
Martha
guess
was saying, she has that radio and she was saying,
yeah,
and then she was like, "Oh, they're
yeah.
not gonna I guess they don't send you out if you're old." I don't know. Perhaps or no, it was the relic. after she gave her the
Yeah,
camera.
she gave her the
She's
camcorder, yeah.
and Juliet said, they're not going to send you out to clean. So I
I
guess
don't
it's
know
just that's like the punishment
I
for.
don't know if she just meant because she lives all the way at the bottom or
Oh, okay, maybe. I just assumed it was because she was old.
yeah, I mean maybe it is. I have no idea about whether there's like an age limit or something.
Maybe it's like The Giver, and when you reach a certain age, you just have to go clean. They
Oh,
just push you out.
oh yeah, I forgot
Well, they
about the
got all those
giver.
babies, so that. Oh, don't even get me started on that movie adaptation of that show or that book.
I don't think I ever watched it.
It was so
I saw the
bad.
trailers. I was
It's
like, oh,
so bad.
this doesn't look good.
I'm sorry if anyone listening had anything to do with that movie, but it was really terrible. And it wasn't like a bad movie as such. It was just a terrible adaptation. And I'm not even like someone who's like, they religiously have to stick to a book. That's silly, but this one was.
Actually, I think I did watch it and I just blocked out because it was bad.
Yeah,
So
yeah, not good.
I really like the book, that's why. So
So good.
okay, and then it's funny because we were like harping on like all the water wastefulness, like the steaming of the buns, and I was talking about the flowers, and like we were talking about how that requires a lot of water and stuff like that. But then there's like that giant pit of water at the bottom.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
don't
like,
think they have water problems. It
yeah. So they
seems we have
must
water
just,
everywhere.
yeah, they must just have an abundant source of water.
I wonder if it's like, I mean, if you can see blue sky, at least half of the silo or part of the silo has to be above ground. But it feels like the rest of it could be
Oh,
like
that's
either.
interesting. So like half in, half out kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Um, that's what I was thinking. And I mean, I don't know. Caves have big water supplies like that. I don't really understand how the digger got where it is. Like what's above it and
yeah.
how did no one ever see it
what is the roof
before?
of it? Because like they must have
Yeah.
had to build something over it, right? So
Yeah. Right, because everything outside is like
yeah, because
poison.
the generator is above that. So
Yeah. Very confused.
and does it only go down? Can it go sideways?
Yeah, because like if everything outside is poison, then they would have had to plug that hole. How would they have done that? I'm very confused.
Yeah. 'Cause yeah, it doesn't. It seems kind of limiting to just have something that can only go straight down. So,
Hmm.
and especially if it's because you had said that the digger looked too small for the size of the silo. So yeah, if they had needed to
Yeah,
turn it, then that would make more sense. Like it goes down and then
I
it
stand
turns to
by
the
that
side and then
opinion.
it makes the hole bigger like around it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
just what you can see of it, it just sort of looks like it drills down and that's
Yeah.
it. But who
Yeah. I don't know.
knows?
Maybe it has arms and it can put
Maybe it's
the
a giant
drills to the
robot.
side. I was kind of surprised, back in like episode 2 or whatever when she showed that place to him at like all the lights working. She turns on the lights and they all go on in the cavern, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of light bulbs and they all still work.
It's someone's job to just go around and change all the light bulbs.
Yeah. Alrighty. So at the end, Jules passes on the camcorder, which is a relic, to Walker, and Walker is like balking at her, like, "Why are you giving this to me?" Right? But
Right.
then earlier, when she was talking to John's like said something interesting. She said that you have that radio. I know you've been listening, and you knew I was coming. And she said that it's so banned by the pact or something that
Yeah.
like
But it
like
almost seemed like not a serious ban. Like she wasn't even. I mean, I know that's her friend, and she was just being jokey about it. But um, did did you feel that way? That like if the
I mean,
average person had.
it felt like, yeah, they were joking, but I also felt like they put that in so that we could hear it, and we
Right.
could be like, oh, okay, because like we've talked in the past about how communication is bad, like,
So do you
um,
think she's picking up on the radio, like the stuff that they're just radioing to each other in those stations that we were talking about earlier?
yeah, she
You
must
think?
be like, how they're like all quiet up to the farms or something like
Yeah.
that. So she must just listen, because like there are people like that now, right, who just listen like to radio
Yeah,
chatter and
my
stuff like
mom is
that.
one of them
Oh,
because
really?
her husband's like a volunteer firefighter, and whenever I'm on the phone with her, I just hear the oh, what is it even called? The scanner. They call it the scanner. It's
Yeah.
just running all the time. Like, what are you even doing? They just like to know what's happening.
That's funny.
I guess that's how Walker is. It's like my
Yeah,
mother.
I thought it was funny when she's like, "What are you talking about? That's a toaster."
I know.
But okay, so what do you think is on the camcorder?
Well,
Because
I would
obviously that's going to come back. That's going to come back for sure because she's passing it on to Martha Walker before leaving, and it kind of seems like she's saying, "I want you to figure out what's on this." You know?
And this is this a different I think I'm getting my camcorders mixed up because they found all that footage that he pulled from the tapes in a previous episode where
Okay,
she
so
saw like
he was looking at the hard drive. He found all those like silo blueprints
okay,
and
yeah, on
things
a
like
hard
that,
drive.
and the cleaning video and everything like that. He found that on the hard drive, which Holston has because he took it. He's like, "This is a red level relic, and
And
I'm gonna go
that's what
destroy
we
it."
think is behind the thing in his wall, the grate.
Yeah,
Okay.
in his apartment, in Holston's
Yeah.
apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the camcorder, I think Jules had that. She was showing Holston all the relics that George had left behind, and I guess maybe Holston didn't know what it was, so he didn't think to take that. I don't know. You would
Hmm.
think he would have taken that too, but maybe he
Yeah,
forgot.
I
Maybe he
thought it looked
forgot.
like one that had like a that you could put a tape in and out of, but maybe not. Because it's the tape that you would really want,
Mm,
unless
yeah,
the footage
true.
is stored on the camcorder.
But I mean, I guess if they don't even know what a camera is,
Yeah,
they wouldn't maybe think to like press a button, you know.
right.
Yeah,
What
so
does this
maybe
do? Yeah.
that's probably if I had to guess, that's probably what Martha's gonna do. She's gonna, explore it, and she'll find a tape or something, and she'll
And it's
maybe
still gonna have a battery, whereas my phone
no, she's just gonna put it in her toaster,
yeah,
and it'll work.
just charge it right up. Or you never have the right cord for that shit, Like
Well,
anyway, it's
she
a TV
she
show.
has a she
It's
has a
okay.
very busy looking workshop, so maybe she has like
She's
I
just
mean
got like a
I
cord collection. That's what
yeah,
she does. She's
exactly.
like, all the
Doesn't
cords
everybody
anyone
have
in the
one?
silo needs. You go to this old lady.
Here's my box of cords.
I think everyone does have a box of cords. I know I do. Every so often I'll go through it. But
All right, so we would like to hear from our listeners. What do you think is on the camcorder? Because I've been thinking about it, and I have no idea because it looks like something that's like old now, you know? Like it looks like something that's like I don't know, from like the 2000s.
maybe it's a video from like the rebellion or something.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
like showing that something happened that isn't what they think or
Yeah, because I was just thinking, oh, maybe it's like a video from the before times of like scenarios that people can't even contemplate.
children on a
Like
merry-go-round, things
yeah,
like
or like
yeah.
an outdoor park or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Because those kinds of tapes you can always just overwrite them, right?
Right. I mean,
Maybe
I feel
that's
like yeah, I feel like the
maybe
thing
it's
that
both.
yeah, they
They'll be
where
like
it's like cut
pulled
over
between.
each other, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so you can email us. You can just email my email address. It's at crystal@thedowndeep.net. Or you can leave a comment on our show. Yeah, we want to hear from people, see what people think. Maybe we'll read your answer on our next episode. So before we end, I had written down some small details that I noticed.
Mhm.
In Jules's apartment when she's like drunk and Shirley's trying to wake her up, there's a ball jar on like one of her tables. It's like, wow, those things survived the apocalypse.
Was there really?
Yeah,
Of course they did, though. Of course they did.
it was
Even
like it was like a tinted blue and it had like the swirly ball like
aw.
logo on it. I thought that was funny.
That she doesn't have the lid.
I know it didn't have a lid. No one has the lids.
Nope.
And then, did you notice the Inception top?
The
Did you
Inception top.
did you see Inception?
Yeah, I did see that.
You know that top that Leonardo DiCaprio
Oh,
spins
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
when she was
box?
explaining how the generator.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like the exact same top, and I was like,
It
I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, Inception!
I
And I
wonder
thought,
if, like, that's the only kind
it,
they make that's, like, metal.
I don't know. And it kind of seemed like she ruined that one too, right? For her
Yeah.
demonstration.
She
Didn't
definitely
she?
ruined it.
She clipped it or something, right?
Yeah. And they don't
Yeah.
have an abundance of tops. It's done now.
Well,
What do
maybe
they
they
do with
can.
their garbage?
I don't know. I mean, I
There must be
remember
a
them.
garbage floor. Wasn't that her
No, no,
punishment that she
no.
had to go work on the garbage
Or the
line or
trash
something?
line or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they have a recycling place too. I heard
I
them
should hope
mention.
so.
Yeah, they mentioned recycling in another episode. So, But
I thought like the
I started
slip fit.
wondering if maybe like using that specific top that would be so noticeable to people. I wonder if that
Yeah.
was intentional because I mean Inception is all about dreams, or like they trying to throw people off and
Oh
make
God,
people
no,
think.
don't do that to me. My brain can't take it when they start getting all like, no.
But yeah, I don't know if it's like intentional because I don't know. It just seems like something so recognizable that I don't know. And
It's
it's
very
possible
possible.
because I feel like the show's strength is like in getting people really into the mystery aspect. I've seen so many people like throwing out theories like where the silo is. Is it on a spaceship or is it on another planet or
A
is it
spaceship.
yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. So like I think the mystery is like what's keeping people so captivated.
I
So
mean, I think that's why I'm enjoying watching it because I have no idea what's going on. And it's fun to not know. And I keep thinking either you have not read the book or you're just really good at pretending like, or
well, see, so I look at it as I've been seeing, and this happens with any book that gets turned
yeah,
into a
yeah.
show, is that there's like a segment of people of readers who are just like, yeah, I love watching this play out, and then there's another one's like, well, they didn't do this exactly like the book, and I don't like
I
that.
don't like that. No, I can't.
Yeah, so
That
like
makes me
for
moody.
me, I just feel like the show. Okay, so did you see Loki? The show Loki.
No, another
Okay.
show I haven't seen.
So anyone who's seen Loki will know what I'm talking about, though, in that the show is a variant of the book series Silo.
Oh,
It's just another version of the same story. It's different, but you can still enjoy it. So yeah, that's how I look at it.
no,
But
I just can't tell. Like, it's funny because I know you've read the book, and I know there must be differences because you keep saying I don't know, and I'm like, but you must. You've read the book,
no,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. So that's what I'm getting at. Is like
Yeah.
I look at it as this thing can go anywhere. It can take like the first two like parts of the book that I know, and it can just go somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just kind of looking at it where I don't know what I'm telling myself I don't know what's coming because I truly don't because I don't know what they're going to change.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is
Okay.
funny. So I had seen somebody had posted on Reddit and said the book readers, is this true? Because apparently the description of the show on IMDb says that they're in the silo underground to protect them from the zombies.
The zombies.
And I was like, what?
What?
And it's like, so IMDb is like Wikipedia in that if you have an account, you can go
Uh,
ahead and edit it. So somebody could have gone in there and trolled everybody and put zombies. But then I thought, well, maybe it is going to be a zombie show.
wow. Yeah, I had not thought about zombies. I thought zombies were kind of over, like done.
Yeah, I feel like
I think
zombies
we've
are.
had enough of zombies. Please don't
Yeah.
let it be zombies.
Yeah, I don't want it to be zombies, but that's what I'm talking about. Is like they can take the show, they can take the basis of it, and they can just go wherever they want with it, and then I can just be along for the ride and just
Yeah,
have
and
fun
that
with
sounds
that.
fun. Yeah,
And
I
that
just
actually that's what we talked about with Hugh 10 years ago, right? We had said that um you can always go back and enjoy the book, and you
right.
can just keep enjoying whatever they adapt to whatever you're watching. So
Right. Right. Well, we'll see what happens.
yeah, so but it is kind of hard to like know certain things
Yeah,
and be asked certain things and just be like, okay, I'm just not going to answer that.
that's fine. And you can always lie to me and to the public, I guess.
Oh, yeah. So that reminds me. This is one thing I'm not going to elaborate on, but I'm going to put it in your head.
Okay.
So, you know how we talked about in the title sequence, there's an apple?
Yeah. The
It's a
fruit, yeah.
peach. It's not an apple, it's a peach.
Oh, it's a peach.
I watched it repeatedly. I paused it and I was like, that is a peach.
Okay.
And I was like, and then I was like, but why is it a peach? And then I figured it out. And so I'm just going to
Oh,
lay
you
that
figured it
groundwork.
out.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm going to just lay that groundwork and leave it there.
A peach. All
I'm
right.
just I'm
I'll
just
think
keeping a
about
record
it.
of it so that I can say that I figured it out back on like in early May.
I'll give it some thought.
Okay. I think that about wraps up our discussion, right?
I think so.
Yeah. It's a good one. Can't wait for next week. It's hard to wait until next week, but it's also really good because Can you imagine if we had like 10 episodes to watch
No,
and
no, no,
then
no. I couldn't do it. If we had to do it like that, I don't think I would have done it with you.
yeah. And plus then like the buzz would be all gone
Yeah.
and yeah.
I don't feel like you can't podcast shows like that because nothing to
Yeah.
talk about because you can watch it as fast as you want. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, at least
Because I
for
mean, like
me.
when Lost was a big thing, like there were a lot of Lost podcasts, and I know
Yeah.
my cousin used to listen to all the Entertainment Weekly podcasts every week for Lost, and you can't really do that if like you know everything, you've
Yeah.
watched it all over the weekend.
No, I
So
appreciate when they release shows weekly. I still
yeah.
do. Yeah. Though I could never again go back to Friday at 8 o'clock is, because imagine having to like be there when it airs or
Yeah, that's
something.
that's barbaric. All right, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Wires from the Deep. Be sure to follow or subscribe to us. Tell other Silo fans that they can find us at wiresfromthedeep.com. You can join the Down Deep Discord by going to the downdeep.net and following the invite link to join discussions with other fans. You can play a weekly game of Silo Bingo and win ebook prizes. I want to say special thanks to author Patricia Gilliam for donating copies of her books, A Superhero's Duty and What Goes Around. And you can also join our Friday night watch party of Silo. Next week, there will be prizes donated by cyberpunk fantasy author Beth Hodgson. And if you want to contact me and Kelly, you can leave a comment on our Podbean page or on YouTube, or you can email us at crystal@thedowndeep.net. Tune in next week and we'll break down episode 4, Truth. And to all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
You just scared me and made me think it was Mother's Day today. And I was like,
No, no, no.
ah, call my mom.